have better for two for this class, but thank you. Y'all two can be together in that whole back third row, if that's okay. Y'all all together. Okay, on this side, y'all raise your hands. Y'all are gonna be just this side right here. You can put your hand down for this one. Y'all are gonna be number 1, and y'all are gonna be number 2. Y'all raise your hand over here. Y'all are gonna be number 2. Y'all are gonna be number 1. You can join in with her, okay? And you be number 1. Y'all remember your numbers, okay? Number 2. Same for here. Y'all raise your hand over here. You can put your hand down for this one. Just this side. Y'all are number 1, and y'all are gonna be number 2, okay? All right. Oh. And while we're going to be reading our history books, I have some papers for a little worksheet. Let me just pass these out for you.
Hallie Marie, turn that other light off. Turn the other light off. And you can shut the door too, please.
Okay, don't start on that yet. We're going to do this together.
Okay, no, turn it back on, Hallie. That is too dark.
As we go.
Thank you.
First, you know some important people we're going to talk about in our lesson today. This is Jake Delvaux. He's a professional football player. He also played for football in college at University of Louisiana, Lafayette. Important vocab. You'll need to know that a festival is a type of program of entertainment that is held often, every year. Important places we're going to talk about. Jackson, Louisiana. This is a southeastern town in Louisiana where people can see how students lived and studied a long time ago. Also Rain, this is where the Frog Festival is held. Y'all learn about that? Well, it's a good review, I guess.
Yeah, we had it.
You did, the Frog Festival?
We made a whole thing. There were
That's
games.
neat. Some games y'all played, you said?
Yeah, a lot.
And this is where we talk about in Ponchatoula, Louisiana, this is where the Strawberry Festival is held. Y'all like strawberries?
I don't.
I love strawberries.
I hate getting strawberries.
You do? Okay, so I'm going to read this to you out loud. Y'all can follow along. It's the first paragraph under Living History on page 315. Okay. Y'all right there? Okay. One great way to learn about history is to see it for yourself. This state government protects historic sites all over Louisiana. Historic sites include real homes, farms, and schools from Louisiana's past. Suppose you wanted to see what life was like for students in the 1800s. At Centenary State Historic Site in Jackson, you can walk through the small rooms where college students slept, ate, and studied. Okay, now number 1s, can y'all raise your hand? Y'all know what number you were? Okay, I want you to read the first paragraph, the same one we just read, to your partners, if that's okay. Just read it out loud. Okay, good. Everyone's done. Y'all not done? Y'all can keep going. No problem. No, just stop at that first paragraph. You done?
Wait, only number 1, right?
Yeah, just the first one. Okay, so now I'm going to have a question for you. You have to stop and ask yourself, what are some things you would find at a historic site? And don't say it out loud. Talk about it with your partner. And then y'all can write it down here. It's the first question on your paper I handed out. just read, so think about what we were just talking about. Can you write? You don't have to write in cursive for this one. And yeah, each write on your own paper. And yeah, just put your pencils down whenever y'all finished. Okay, raise your hand if you want to share something that you wrote on your paper. Okay, you can go. Trees, okay, maybe so. What about you? Real homes? Good, that was right out of the paragraph, huh? Let me see what else. You can go.
Went to a college dance lab study tonight.
Good job. So what you,
A kitchen for a bedroom.
okay, maybe so. Maybe you could see that over there too. Okay, let's see. We're going to move on to the next paragraph. Y'all can follow along. It's the second one. In New Orleans, you can ride on the streetcars. These are the exact same streetcars that carried people around New Orleans in the early 1900s. Back then, streetcars shared the roads with horses and just a few cars. Today, the streets are crowded with cars, trucks, and buses. Okay, number 2's raise your hand. Yes, y'all read that to your number 1 partners. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, isn't that neat? It says now they just share the road with cars. Not just streetcars now. Okay? And now we're going to stop and ask ourselves, how have the streets of New Orleans changed since the 1900s, and how have they remained the same? So just talk about that with your partner, and then write on question number 2. And try to look for things right out of the paragraph. And you're going to talk about 2 different things. Compare and contrast them. How is it the same and how is it different?